Your cities are quite literally collapsing, but criminals, junkies, and illegals, but I repeat myself, all seem to be the priority. And the government thugs, for some strange reason, are more concerned with making sure that we use the proper pronouns to address these people. What is up? My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. This, of course, is the epicenter for all of your current and captivating coastal elite chaos. So please hit that subscribe button, like the video, ring the notification bell, leave a comment or two, share this with a friend. Let's go. The big city, blue state, nonstop political corruption is not surprising to anybody anymore, and I'm not quite sure how they continue to get away with this even as their municipalities devolve into absolute chaos and their constituents start to wake up to the obvious, but I guess decades of brainwashing and ballot harvesting works wonders. And in discussing corruption, I have no choice but to mention the current San Francisco Mayor London Breed, who I cannot stand. She is an obvious diversity hire, a human shield from criticism, and she paid over $22,000 in ethics violations fines, and for the millionth time. If that's what she admitted to, imagine what she will never admit to doing. And $22,000, for the record, is a drop in the bucket for the country's highest paid mayor, who is overseeing the country's most dilapidated big city with businesses fleeing, crime, junkies all over the place. You know the deal, but I will never let her live this one down. It is, however, a good thing that she made August Transgender History Month, so we know that she's doing something.
Thank you for joining us. I am Sister Roma, a 34-year member of the San Francisco Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. It says hold for applause. Thank you, thank you. I am truly honored to join you today for this historical event as your host, as we recognize the nation's first Transgender History Month right here in San Francisco.
There's also her ex-boyfriend, Mohammed Nuru, who used to be the head of the San Francisco Department of Public Works before he got taken down by the feds for accepting bribes. And the story I want to highlight, which I will eventually get to, I promise, stems from that investigation. But before I get there, just the tip of the California corruption iceberg includes former San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee, who was tied up in something with a Chinatown gangster named Shrimp Boy. There was Senator Lee Lin-Yi, who was caught running guns from the Philippines, I believe, even though he was a notorious gun control advocate. I guess he was really just trying to corner the market. There was former Governor Gray Davis, who was recalled and replaced by the governor after he was allegedly manipulating energy prices with rolling blackouts or some sort of scam he was into. There was Katie Hill, congressional representative, who was on a creepy "would you bang my wife" or wife swapping Reddit, smoking a bong naked. There's obviously French Laundry greaseball Gavin Newsom, Mad Maxine Waters, lying pencil neck Adam Schiff, Kevin McCarthy, who is technically a Republican but still a weirdo uniparty shill, Nancy the Crypt Keeper Pelosi, Scott Wiener, the creepiest man in all of American politics. He is always up to no good. He has done so many awful things. He certainly deserves his own video, but this is not about him. We do not have enough time. This is about a lesser-known man named Bernie Curran, who was not a politician, but a former senior building inspector for San Francisco. He was sentenced to 12 months and 1 day in prison for accepting gratuity payments in exchange for approving building permits. And according to the Courthouse News Service, an attorney for the U.S. government said that Curran used his position for his benefit and disregarded safety when issuing building permits, most notably 1400 Church Street, a property in San Francisco that he certified as livable even though there was no working fire safety system on the ground floor. People lived in the building from 2019 to 2021 when the fire department discovered the lack of fire safety system. Curran also gave certificates of final completion, or CFCs, to at least one developer for $260,000, which they are calling a loan. And I'm not sure why you would risk your career for money that you're going to have to pay back, but whatever. Curran took payments from a man named Rodrigo Santos, the former president of the Building Inspection Commission in San Francisco, who was funneling money to a nonprofit organization that Curran was part of. Santos was also sentenced to 2.5 years in prison after pleading guilty to making the influence payments to Curran, along with some other charges that he caught. Now, in no way am I blaming this man or these people for what happened or what is happening to the Millennium Tower in San Francisco, but when you have people like this working in the city or working for the city, it is no surprise that things like this happen. January 2022, leaning San Francisco skyscraper is tilting 3 inches per year as engineers rush to implement fix because the 58-story, 645-foot tall residential building was tilting 26 inches north. Then, June 2023, leaning Millennium Tower finally fixed, structural retrofit finished, tower tilting slightly less. So after $100 million in repairs, the tower was reportedly leaning by 1 less inch. There was also the story of how the entire building smelled awful because of some other alleged shortcuts. The whole thing is just a complete mess. And for good measure, because we know that California and New York read and take orders from the exact same Democrat corruption playbook, way back in 2019, debris from 7 train track strikes again because pieces of the above ground track were falling onto cars. Nobody was hurt. But I mean, guys, you gotta get it together. December 2020, 5 charged for allegedly raking in thousands in MTA overtime fraud. So they weren't really interested in fixing the trains or the tracks, the subway cars or whatever. They were a little bit more interested in collecting overtime from their couch at their Long Island vacation home. April 2023, Manhattan parking garage that collapsed, killing 1, had open property violations, records show. November 2023, unstable garage above train tracks in New York City continues to disrupt Amtrak service. And just recently, December 2023, rescue crews searched through scene of partial building collapse in the Bronx. And look, I get it. These are all different entities, but I mean, come on. Your cities are quite literally collapsing, but criminals, junkies, and illegals, but I repeat myself, all seem to be the priority. And the government thugs, for some strange reason, are more concerned with making sure that we use the proper pronouns to address these people.